Most of the demand for water in the third world comes from farmers needing to irrigate their crops, and often they have little more than buckets for the job. But a New Zealand engineer has come up with an ingenious way to improve the situation. Natasha Utting explains.
The power behind all this water is quite simply a pair of legs.
Just by swinging from one foot to the other. Very similar action to walking upstairs. So you're using body weight, not sheer strength, to drive this pump.
A renewable and free energy source, which makes this pump literally a lifesaver in the third world.
There's no plumbing in Africa. You walk with buckets for miles. The importance of this little machine is that you're able to actually shift water very simply over vast distances.
I might invest in one of these.
As each pedal goes down, 1 litre of water is moved. These Kiwis know they've built something revolutionary.
They can pump dirty water without adverse effect on the pump. It can lift water 20 metres. It can transport water horizontally over 1 kilometre. So essentially there's been no man-powered pump ever developed that has these sort of performance capabilities.
Ecologics' market is huge. Over 900 million people rely on subsistence agriculture as their primary food source. That means growing crops for their family, not for supermarkets.
You don't always have electricity available to you, and you can't walk down the road and just buy a gallon of petrol, even if you can afford it. And there's any number of people who are in a position where their lives actually depend on how much water they can get onto some crops.
Irrigation machines or expensive pumps are out of the question, and petrol-powered pumps supplied by well-meaning aid agencies quickly prove useless.
In many cases, the farmers themselves can't afford the fuel costs. They have no idea about servicing and maintenance of engines, and basic parts like oil filters and so forth are simply not available.
If a small-scale farmer in Kenya can irrigate his or her crops, they can increase their income from a measly $400 a year to 4 times that.
That enables them to grow much better crops, better quality seeds, send their children to school, pay school fees, and all the things that we take for granted here in New Zealand.
Rod has spent around 15 years designing the pedal pump, and Neil has helped launch it into 27 countries.
Pump's very light, at 11 kgs.
Oh yeah, it is. So you could actually carry that away at the end of the day, or?
Yes, we have a carry harness for those that want it.
The pump costs $350, but once it's bought, there are no other running costs. However, most of Ecologics' market still can't afford it. A big part of their job now is working with governments, NGOs and the United Nations to subsidise the pump for those in need.
Natasha Utting on Ecologics' amazing pumps.